can say that to the microphone. She just said, wow, so many people. They're not afraid of rain. Are you? Hi, Aušrine, thank you so much for joining us on this rainy weather. But it's not even that cold here, right? I mean, it's warm here on the stage, too.
Yeah, I mean, good morning. It's not about the climate. It's about investment climate, which is perfect here in Lithuania, right? So we're good with that.
Yeah, I mean, it rains in Lithuania, right? We have the saying in Lithuanian that said, "Čia Lietuva, čia lietus lyja."
Well, actually, the literal translation of Lithuania is rainland, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all did this all for the foreign people that came to the event. So you're welcome. Okay, Aušrine, I wanted to start with hearing your perspective, and from your perspective, what do you think what kind of government measures have been the most effective in fostering the innovation, in driving the expansion of Lithuania's startup ecosystem?
Yeah, well, first of all, when I come on stage, and usually when I talk to business people, I always tell that it's not us that we are doing business and creating jobs, it's you. It's you, the creative minds that do this. And us, well, as for us, our job is, to facilitate the discussions, facilitate new partnerships, open doors, and make this business climate, as much as friendly as possible for you. So I think that throughout these 4 years, we have managed to do some substantial things. If someone thought that Lithuania is some sort of, cheap labor country somewhere in the Eastern Europe, it's no longer that, right? It's our advanced industries that now create not only new jobs, but also added value and change the world. People from our biotechnology industry, our engineering industry and lasers, tech ecosystem is booming. It's the fastest growing ecosystems, not in our region, but actually in Europe. And this was achieved, obviously, by the community, but also, I think, because of some of the decisions we made. We accomplished to implement this innovation reform. We have an innovation agency with lots of millions of euros. It's good to have them, right? But at the same time, when we, think about the next chapter, so what's next? The innovation agency has to become not only a business agency, but also a center of competences, so that you guys help our business advance, not only startups, but also obviously big manufacturers, and so on and so forth. So this is one thing. The second thing is that, for a country of a size as Lithuania, it is important to be open to the world. And basically, well, we export 90% of what we produce here, and we wanted to expand into new markets. I think we managed that. We have opened our offices from Seoul to Silicon Valley. We have doubled our teams that work throughout the world. I have traveled myself together with businesses, entering new markets like Southeast Asian markets, or our traditional markets like Germany. I mean, we have to deepen our presence there. We have managed to do that. We have accomplished it. And finally, perhaps the third thing, regardless everything else we did together, I think that Lithuania managed to, to sort of to implement some moonshot projects, let's call it this way. When I came into the office 4 years ago, people kept telling me that, well, even they were smiling, actually, ironically, when I spoke about semiconductor industry and possibilities of semiconductor industry in Lithuania. Foreigners were curious, but also kind of suspicious. And here we go. We have partnerships with Taiwan when it comes to technology transfer. We have Lithuanian companies that are investing into this very innovative and prominent industry. This is one thing. It's a moonshot, but it has become a reality. The second one is that, well, exactly 4 years ago, people were always like smiling and thinking, okay, we have these financial resources, when it comes to international accelerators, we want to attract them, but nobody is interested in us. We are so good, we are so smart, but no one abroad cares about us. And then we said, no, let's do something about it, Let's go proactively, let's travel around the world, let's go to Web Summit, let's go to Slush, let's meet CEOs and so on. And here we are, we have Plug and Play from Silicon Valley, we have specialized acceleration programs, and we have so many names in the pipeline that want to come to Lithuania and actually work with you. So this is also important. So perhaps these sort of 3 pillars, be transforming with the innovation ecosystem, then traveling around the world and being as much as open as possible, and third, having these dreams and moonshot projects that are actually, well, possible to implement. This is, I think, that brought us here, and we are very proud about what we have.
Amazing. And can we come back to the accelerators that you mentioned as well, and like international collaborations and partners, right, that we attracted here to Lithuania? So what kind of role of them do you see, in implementing in the of the startup ecosystem, of the whole innovation ecosystem here in Lithuania, and helping them grow and scale globally?
Yeah, well, I think that one of the most important things is that these are global networks. And here in Lithuania, a small country, we do create global solutions. It's not that, the applications or innovations that are being created here that are dedicated only to this country or this region. It's a global solution thing. And then to scale, right? You need friends, contacts, networks all around the world. And this, for instance, what Plug and Play brings, it brings access to the biggest corporations globally, right? Then the partnership in EdTech with the Finnish acceleration program also, it will help our EdTech companies scale and grow around the world, access new contacts. This is extremely important. And when it comes to next chapter, because everybody is interested not what we have done, but what's next, right? So I think it is extremely important to work not only on foreign direct investment attraction when it comes to, building like manufacturing industry, which is important. And I think despite all the turbulences, despite the war that still is taking place in Europe, I mean, we have made some very important projects, but it is very important to attract capital investment into our companies, venture capital companies, to attract their attention. Traditional banking, I mean, we need more names here because we need better access to capital. We have ideas here, but we have money to start up. But then when it comes to scale, we still need more, right? And it's not only public money and schemes that we do have already, but also we want Lithuania to be noticed by the biggest names when it comes to venture capital from New York, Silicon Valley, Southeast Asian markets, Taiwan, South Korea, anyone. So this is, I believe, the next chapter when it comes to startup ecosystem, because we have lots of startups, we are proud about it, but then we want to scale and to expand.
That's great, because I wanted to ask another of my question would have been, from the government perspective, what's next for the startup ecosystem? But everyone likes to compare themselves to others, and we saw some numbers already. You mentioned some numbers already, but comparing ourselves to the region, to our neighbors, what would you say makes us different, and what sets us apart from the region?
Yeah, well, first of all, I will have this small sort of shout out to the neighborhood we live in, because it's a very competitive, advanced neighborhood. The Baltics, the Nordics, Poland. I mean, interesting things are going on, and it's good that we have these neighbors, so we can keep up with them. We can sometimes, as you said, compare, and we are peer competitors, right? So this is a good thing. But then you have to be faster and smarter than everybody else to sort of, exclude yourself from the rest. And Lithuania has, a very diversified economy. We do not only have tech ecosystem, tech industries, and these prominent companies that you have mentioned, not only our unicorns, but unicorns that are associated with Lithuania, but we do have advanced manufacturing. 23% of our GDP comes from the manufacturing industry. Significant portion of it is engineering and so on. Then this makes our economy more diversified. Biotechnology. The biggest corporate income taxpayer in Lithuania is from the biotechnology industry. The second one, it was last year, I think, was crypto, right? So this means that we have different sectors where we are really good at. And we also have niche competences that we are the best in the world. These are niche competences, and you don't have to be the best at everything, because it is impossible for a small country like us. But then there are some industries like lasers, short pulse lasers. They're the best in the world. So let's build on that. And when I pitch Lithuania, because I'm also pitching all the time, part of my job is, the elevator pitch. This makes an impression that we are diversified, and actually throughout these crises like COVID, war, inflation, and other, difficulties we had, the diversified economy helped us withstand these crises. So let's keep it this way.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And even about the comparing part, I feel like healthy competition is always good, but we also have to stick as the Baltics, and work together and collaborate. I think that's one of our strengths as well. But also one of our strengths is to, have these sectors that we're super proud of, and we invest the government money to them as well. So I think you had a really good point. How do you envision the role of startups overall in shaping Lithuania's economy, even in the future as well?
Well, I think that we need the startup mind and startup thinking in the government and within the government as well. I think we do have, because when we are working together with, for instance, huge corporations like foreign companies, sometimes I feel that we have less bureaucracy than them. But at the same time, we could do better. We could be more flexible. So this culture you have, I think it is important, to sort of have these spillover effects across industries, including government. Now, startup community already actually is very vocal about the reforms that are needed in this country, right? For instance, the 4% of GDP dedicated to the defense capabilities, this came from this very community, right? From Unicorns Lithuania Association. And political parties managed to, agree on some of the decisions that actually increase our defense budget, and well, this makes all of us, well, safer and obviously happier. So there are other areas where we could use your sort of support and sometimes, you know, this friendly push. I would say education is number one thing, because we have done good things when it comes to, well, transforming our education system and so on. But then there are so many things to be done. And you know, with artificial intelligence that already approached classrooms and universities, schools, and well, the rest of education system, we need some very universal skills to learn, like, you know, creativity, curiosity, critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, and so on. And this this is where startup ecosystem is also, well, your sort of input is needed.
Amazing, thank you. And we're running out of time, so the last question for you, what would be your advice to all the entrepreneurs, founders want to be here? What would be your advice to them?
Yeah, well, perhaps from my own experience working at the Ministry of Economy, if you think that, you know, you're doing a good job, well, most probably you do, but not necessarily everybody else knows that. And it's not that they should know, because you haven't, you didn't tell the story, right? So please, you know, be brave. Don't be afraid to sort of take a risk. Go around the world, present your ideas, attract investment. Don't be afraid to fail. And then the rest will follow. I think it applies both in business and the government as well.
Amazing. And also for startups, use all the opportunities that you get and they're presented to you. Thank you so much, Aušrine. Thank you for coming here and thank you for this chat.
Thank you. Enjoy everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolina. Thank you, Aušrine.